You are about to enter a great adventure.
This is Strutting from Gorilla.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Strutting from Gorilla. I am Mikey Cash, and with me, as always, is Big Vito. Big Vito, what's happening, man?
Mikey Cash, how are you today? We're back. We're ready to rock and roll. Another podcast, another SFG episode in the books.
I know. I'm pumped. We got a lot to talk about. Today we're going to be taking a look at the first couple weeks of Big Papa H's regime, what the post Vince TV has looked like in WWE, what's working, what's not. We're also going to be talking a little AEW TV, why we feel like something is a little off, something's not really clicking. There are some things working, but we're going to talk about that. And we'll also actually touch on Impact. They just had a show over the weekend, Emergence. So we're just going to give some thoughts about that. You know, Mikey Cash loves him a little bit of Impact. And we got a little Q&A at the end that we're going to do for you guys too. We're going to try something new. And before we get into that, let me tell you where you can find us on the socials. On Facebook at SFG Podcast, Twitter and TikTok at @from_gorilla, on Instagram at SF Gorilla Pod, and our website is struttingfromgorilla.com. Feel free to leave us a 5-star rating and review if you're listening on Apple Podcast. We'd all appreciate it. All right, so let's jump into it. Vito, I know you said you had something you wanted to get off your chest and share.
Yeah. So not really something I wanted to get off my chest, Mikey, but more so, I am a subscriber to Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine, which as a kid everybody loved, and it's back.
That's right.
And I get it all the time now. And some magazines have been really good, others have been hit or miss, but it's been great showing like other pieces of the wrestling world, and they do a good job of covering not just WWE, you know. So this recent episode, I want to say it, or this magazine, which is November. I don't know why I'm getting November here in August, but regardless, it's a poll it's a poll magazine. So there's 50 questions in it, and they poll not just like the publishers or publicists, but they also poll fans and wrestlers. So it's a pretty good scale of what's going on, and they had some pretty good questions on here. And we talk about it here all the time about, hey, like, what are people actually watching? Like, is it just the honkies that like AEW? Is it actually like better than WWE? Are more people excited to see it? So what I wanted to do is just go through a couple of these things that I found pretty interesting. And let me get into the first one here. I thought it was really awesome. So one of the questions they asked is, which of the following streaming services do you subscribe to? And now it says check all that apply. So they could be multiple ones, right?
Yeah.
So, let me ask you, what do you think is number one?
Probably Netflix.
Well, this is wrestling related.
Wrestling related?
Wrestling related.
So wrestling related, I would say probably Peacock.
Yeah, you're right on. 68% of people are subscribed to it. No shock there. It's free, right?
Yep.
And for the most part, if you have Comcast, and WWE is on it, and you have to have it to watch the pay-per-views. Number 2 is New Japan World. It's called NJPW World.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. 24%. NWA Powers on Fight is 19%.
Oh, I'm on that too. I got that.
IWTV 15%. Impact Plus 15%, and then None 14%. So
that's a lot more people that have None.
Yeah,
to be quite honest, I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, you know what? I would be willing to bet if AEW had one, that would be a little bit lower, because I bet you a lot of the people on this are AEW honkies like myself. So
I bet.
I just found that interesting because, we talk about it all the time. We're like, how much wrestling do people actually want to watch? Like, is streaming service killing, programming on TV? Like, we talk about it all the
Yeah.
time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just found it interesting. So 68% of the people that were polled at least watch Raw or WWE, which was pretty interesting.
I wonder, in Hulu's not mentioned in there at all because they have a deal where Raw and SmackDown show up the day after. So it's kind of surprising.
It could be the other,
It's like it is temporary though. I mean, those episodes will be on Hulu for about a month, and then they get put onto Peacock. So it's sort of there's like a synergy there.
It's also not like wrestling only subscription.
That's true.
The other one that goes along with this that we talk about, because we talk about how there's almost too much wrestling on television, you get overload. Says on a weekly basis, how much pro wrestling do you typically watch? Okay. 4 to 6 hours, 28%. This is out of 100%. You can't check multiple options.
Right.
7 to 10 hours, 24%. 1 to 3 hours, 16%. More than 15 hours is 18%, and then others 14%. So it's actually a pretty good mix. Like, you'd be shocked. I would be in the, if you were to pick that, what would you be in the realm of?
I'd probably be between the 7 and 10 or 15, depending on the week.
Right. But if you ideally had to choose, how much would you want to watch?
4 to 6.
Me too.
I would put that. I would agree. That's a wheelhouse right there.
I would agree with that. So I found that pretty interesting. But I mean, let's just say you watch Raw and you watch it in its entirety. That's 3 hours right there.
Right. That's the beauty of Hulu, ladies and gentlemen. It is a 90-minute version.
Yeah. So here's the crazy part. I guess they did this poll last year, and compared to last year's, people are watching less than before. And which I find really interesting. Yeah, but what I find interesting is there's actually more quality shows available to watch with all these streaming services. So you're getting more options, but people, according to this poll, are actually watching less. Is it too much wrestling? Is it not enough quality, over quantity? Like, that's the question we ask all the time here. And at least we have a little bit behind that, which is really, really interesting.
I like that poll. And I think you said something just a minute ago. There are more quality options, so maybe people are being more decisive in what they're watching and just sort of sticking to that. Of, you know what, I decided that I really like New Japan, so I'm just going to stick with that. And I'll occasionally maybe watch like an AEW show. Maybe that's why you're seeing that. Yeah, there's a lot of options, but people are kind of now being actual, like, picking and choosing what they want to watch. Whereas before there wasn't a lot of options, so you just watched what was on.
Yep. Nope. You're 100% right. Another one that I'm going to touch on. I'm just going to go through a couple of them.
Yeah. Keep going. This is interesting.
Yeah, I figured this goes along with a lot of the stuff we talk about here at Strutting from Gorilla. All right. Which of the following programs do you typically watch? Okay, and then this one you could check all that apply. So it's a little, you could watch multiple things. You're not just picking the top one that you watch. Okay.
All right.
Here you go.
All right.
AEW Dynamite coming in number 1.
All righty.
80%, 80% of the people that took this poll watch AEW Dynamite. That was number 1. Number 2, which I found interesting, SmackDown at 59%.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Me neither.
SmackDown actually is a good show.
Correct. And then Raw was right behind it at 57%. Then, believe it or not, and again, you have to keep in mind this magazine tends to be like several months behind. So the next one is WWE NXT at 46%, which I would be willing to bet if you polled people now, like right at this moment, that number would drastically drop. I just have a weird feeling because it's garbage.
Who knows?
Impact Wrestling at 37%, and then AEW Dark at 29%.
So where's Rampage? It's not even on the list.
Wasn't on the list.
Oh man, not a great move for AEW, huh?
Now, again, maybe this was right around the start of Rampage. Not sure, but I mean,
I mean,
would
it's
be
been on
willing.
for a year.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't on here. Yeah, but the crazy part
That's
is what
weird.
I take out of this is that most wrestling fans are not just watching one
Mm-hmm.
particular show, right? Because
Yeah.
it's a pretty decent mix.
So I kind of stand corrected then from what I was saying before. And so people are watching multiple things. I mean, I think
Yeah.
of myself, and I've watched all of those that are on that list,
Right, me too.
even begrudgingly dark every once in a while.
Do you? I've never actually
It's
even watched it
when
outside of
when
our show.
AEW first started, I did it and it was fine, and then like some episodes were like 3 hours long, and it was just I don't know. It's a huge time commitment watching something that doesn't really seem to matter.
Okay, and the last one. Oh, actually, well, there's two more I want to do because this one is pretty
Yeah.
good.
All right.
Oh, actually, there's I'll go through the next two really quickly, and then there's a third.
Classic Vito move.
Well, but here's the reason why it goes into kind of what we're talking about here. It says, in general, do you watch your favorite wrestling programs live or after the fact? Example, DVR, streaming the next day? Question mark.
All right. I see what you're saying.
Let me ask you, what do you think the numbers are? So the options are live, later at my convenience, or a mix of the two. And you can only choose one. What do you think is the
Later at my convenience, and
Okay.
I think it's an overwhelming percentage.
Okay. So live as they air,
Mm-hmm.
22% say they
Okay.
watch it live, which is kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, that's still a
22% of people.
significant number.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty
It's
crazy.
almost
And
a
then,
quarter of the
yep.
people that have taken this.
And then later at my convenience is 25%.
What?
hmm
What?
And then a mix of the two, because
Oh,
really that's
yeah,
probably what most people are going to choose
yeah.
because you watch pay-per-views live.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You got me on that one. You got me on that one.
53% of people do both, which makes sense. That's
I guess so.
probably
No, you're right.
that's more of the category we would be in. That's what I would choose.
Yeah. I kind of feel like an idiot. You got me good.
No.
You got me good because at first when I heard that question, the only thing that came to mind for me wasn't even the pay-per-views. I was just thinking Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, and Rampage. I never watched those live, so that was
Right.
like a big majority of my wrestling watching during the week.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I never usually watch that live.
Right.
So
Right.
I just went with that. Wow, I was Samsonite. I was way off.
Again, don't take these numbers to gospel. I mean, in my opinion, the most the readers of this magazine are probably AEW honkies, right? Like that's probably who that. So like,
I like that
I
you're
just
bringing the word honky back. I appreciate that.
you know, I've said it 3 times. It's probably 2 times too many. Okay, going quickly to the next one, and then we'll
Okay.
get into the main topic today. Well, there's one more after that I wanted to do.
Are you just going to read the whole magazine?
I probably should, but there's a lot of good ones in here.
All right, you get 2 more, and then we're moving.
That's it. No, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's what I said. All right. In general, do you think there's too much televised wrestling to keep up with in a given week? Question mark. Great questions. I wonder if they've been listening to our podcast, Mikey. What do you think so there's three questions.
Oh, okay.
Or 3 answers, and you can only choose one.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't get enough. Yes, I'm overwhelmed. Or not interested.
Oh shit! I feel like it's going to be. I feel like the biggest percentage is going to be between those two, the too much and not interested.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I would say there's too much.
Okay. No, I can't get enough. 58%.
Okay. People are rabid.
So you go back to the other question where it was like, how many hours do you watch? And I mean, most people are between 4 and 6. I mean, more than 50% of people between 4 and 6 and 7 and 10. Right? That's a lot of wrestling in a week. And then you get to this one, and 58% say no, there's not enough. So I mean, it kind of correlates because people are watching a decent amount per week.
Mhm.
I mean, but okay. And then yes, I'm overwhelmed at 37%.
Yeah.
And then not interested 5%. So I mean, obviously,
I think I
if
didn't
you're,
choose that.
yeah. So it's very, very interesting there. And the last question, which goes right into um, our
Topic
topic
for today.
today. Yeah. I have to find it. I just had it here a second ago.
Begin the countdown now.
Bum, 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 bum,
Mhm,
bum, bum,
mhm,
bum.
mhm,
It was
mhm.
actually talking about the best storylines. Which promotion has the best storylines? I'm sorry, I had it marked here, and in between all of this,
How could you do this?
you know,
We're live, big boy.
I know. I don't know where it went here. Well, that's okay. Why don't we
That's all
just
right.
go right into it? And when I find it here eventually,
Well,
I'll mash it back up. But let's get
okay.
into
Speaking of storylines,
yeah, the WWE. We're talking about your boy Big Papa H, Triple H taking over.
right? It's the first few weeks of the real McMahon Helmsley era.
Yeah, give me your
Art
thoughts, man.
imitating life.
Yeah, give me your
Um,
thoughts.
I actually, maybe I'm in the minority, but I think it's been great overall. But there is a noticeable change in how things are presented on their television show. One of the most notable things that people I think post about is all of these released wrestlers, the NXT talent that was released while Triple H was basically almost dead, have largely been re-signed. I mean, so you have Dakota Kai. She's one of my favorites. Karrion Kross and Scarlett, and they're not coming back, and he doesn't have that stupid ass gladiator gimmick. They're actually giving him sort of the character that was a success for him down in NXT, and they're actually presenting him like a real threat, which is really cool to see. So that's very encouraging. Dexter Loomis, which was a huge shocker for me. I kind of like that guy, and when it was Black and Gold NXT, I really liked like the thing he was doing with Johnny Gargano in the way, and his whole thing with the Index storyline, like with Indy Hartwell. I thought it was kind of cool. Uh, they re-signed basically all of Hit Row except Swerve, who's in AEW. So that was really surprising to me that they would do that. So I'll be interested to see where that goes. Um, I think there might have been one or two other people that I'm just missing, but those are the big ones that from what I've been watching that have been really cool to see them back on television. What's kind of cool too is it's not only people returning, but there's also return to form, and that's sort of what I'm seeing with the changes in Kevin Owens' style, most notably for me. I mean, he beat the shit out of Ezekiel, and it felt like NXT Kevin Owens, where this guy takes no bullshit, and he's a lot more focused, and that it's just a different shift in his character where he can do comedy bits and things like that, but I think some of his best work is done when he's taken seriously. And I was right before we recorded this morning, I was watching a little bit of Raw from last night, and his segment with Drew was phenomenal. They had a really great promo together, and there's just a fire in this guy. So I really appreciate what what freedoms Triple H is sort of instilling in these wrestlers again. Champa, he's finally kind of coming into his own. He's sort of finding himself again. Shinsuke, holy shit, him and Gunther on SmackDown, dude, had a phenomenal. I keep using. I'm stealing your word. It was a fantastic match, and it was definitely one of Shinsuke's it was like a return to form for him too, to his like real strong style. I know I keep mentioning NXT, but one of the best ways I know them, and I believe that that was where they were the most successful. They had
Yeah.
freedom to really tap into who they were as a character and be authentic. And you're seeing parts of that come back. Um, so I really enjoy that. And even, Shayna Baszler's doing that. Dewdrop's doing that. She might even change her name back to Piper Nevin, which I would fucking love. Hell, even Ronda. She had it was a short thing on SmackDown, but it was short and sweet. And maybe
Yeah.
with Ronda, that's kind of what you got to do until she has a match.
Yeah.
So I like it, man. I like it.
I think you're spot on, and I think we have talked about this before. But I just think it's like a shot in the arm for a lot of these wrestlers, right?
Yes.
Like Vince has been around forever, and you know he's a legend, and you're not going to replace Vince McMahon. But I think times have gone past Vince
Mm-hmm.
McMahon. Like times have passed him by, and we used to say that WWE didn't listen to the fans, right? Like we would all be craving something and they
Yeah.
wouldn't go that direction. And I'm hoping Triple H tends to understand the fans a bit more. I mean, just in his work with NXT, my concern, and I bet Mango would agree, is um what made WWE great and Vince's big thing was big guys, right? Like he loved big guys. He didn't really care
Yeah.
if they wrestled all that well. And like you need to find mix, right? Like you need a really good mix between the two, because having those larger than life characters is great, right? And it does bring ratings. But for us, we love the wrestling aspect of it,
Mm-hmm.
and Triple H is a wrestling mind. And you can even see they've taken those some banned words off the list,
Yeah,
which
they've
is
been
great.
mentioning wrestling an awful lot.
I
Even
know.
on that Kevin Owens Drew McIntyre segment I
Yeah.
just watched, they said, "Oh, sports entertainment, this and that. We're two wrestlers in a ring. Let's wrestle." And
Right.
the crowd ate that up.
Yeah.
It's great. I
It's
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 good.
refreshing. It's really
Yeah, that was the word I
it's
was about to use.
refreshing because these changes are not they're not huge. That's the thing.
No.
Like it's not like it's a unrecognizable show. It's recognizable, but there's been some subtle tweaks, and I think that's probably the best way to do it because you almost want to ease the fans that haven't watched those previous versions of those people or haven't watched AEW, because there are people like that. You almost want to ease them to a little bit of, this is what happens when you take some of these stories seriously. This is what
Yeah.
happens when these people are taken seriously.
Yeah.
And even in their presentation, there's little subtle things. Like, you know how when someone's coming out, sometimes they'll just almost like skip their entrance by showing a flashback video.
Yeah.
Well, now they do split screen. So I'm like, that's like a little thing, but you still have the video of them coming out. And it's almost a sign of respect to the wrestler, right?
Right.
That they don't just get skipped over to talk about what's happening last week. Cause hey, they have limited time. So they do have to get things in. I get that.
Yeah.
But those are, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but those are little things that I've noticed even in the last 3 weeks that
Yeah.
seem to be working really well. I don't know if you saw the video packages over the last
Yes.
2 weeks for the US and the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
I mean, it's to me, and I know that I'm probably just over exaggerating, but
No, you're not.
it
I know what you're gonna
reinstilled
say.
a sense of prestige to that title
Yep.
instantly.
I
Because they actually they talk about the history of the title, what it means for the people that were holding it, and they weren't just giving the same like 4 people all the time. They're like Bret Hart, Stone Cold, Triple H, The Rock held the Intercontinental title. Like, no, I get that, but there's a huge laundry list of Hall of Famers and the guys that were so influential in the business that held that title, and the same with the U.S. title. So I think it was great, and the way they treat those matches, it felt important. And
Yep.
on SmackDown, even on Raw, like they did, everybody got the legit entrance, everybody got the like the introduction to the crowd, like they treated it as a special attraction. And I think going forward with Roman working a part-time schedule, you need to present these as something that are meaningful, so that when you don't have the championship on the line on a Raw or a SmackDown, you can have matches like this and people will still care.
Yeah. And what's the thing we talked about all the time here about WWE? It's organic. Like we need to
Mhm.
feel like it's an organic thing. And by giving us something to look up to like these titles and those packages. It makes it feel like we can invest our time into it. For so many years, they've just made us feel like we don't need to invest our time into stuff like that. And now they're building things up. They're making it worthwhile. They're making it feel more organic rather than, hey, we're just going to shove this down your throat whether you like it or not. You're going to like John Cena. You're going to like Austin Theory. I don't care what you think. You're going to like him. And it's like that is the mindset that people don't want. They want them to like them naturally. Like, you look at some of the people like Daniel Bryan, that was very organic. People just started liking him and he became so over. Like, you need more of that, like let people like who they want to like and not try and shove it down your throat. And I feel like we're going to get more of that. Or if we're not going to get more of that, at least it's going to be presented in a way that's not insulting to us, because that's what bothers me.
You're absolutely right, dude. And because in that like vein of it, in order for things to be organic, the wrestlers need to be set up for success and not to be sort of burdened with just bullshit gimmicks. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
And the people that are listening know what we're talking about. You know it when you see it. When Karrion Kross came out with that bullshit gladiator thing and the mask after a hugely successful run in NXT, everyone was like, what the fuck is going on? Where did this come from? So we knew where it came from. But in order for things to become organic, these superstars having the ability to be their authentic selves again is going to help with that, because they'll be comfortable. The crowd will know that they're comfortable, and at least there's a better chance for that to happen. For some people it won't, and that's kind of just the law of averages, right? Like, not everyone's going to get over. But I think this at least puts them in a better situation. And something that I think helps get these wrestlers over is an understanding of their own character history outside of WWE, and they've made some subtle tweaks to that. They won't necessarily mention other organizations, but they'll allude to it. One thing that comes to mind is they mentioned Dakota Kai and Io Sky tag teaming, and for people that don't know, they both wrestled in an all women's promotion in Japan called Stardom, and they were tag team there too. So they mentioned that they're familiar with each other for over 10 years. They had tagged previously in Japan. And it's little things like that sort of almost reassure the viewer, oh, these people aren't just thrown together. They've known each other. And there's a reason that they're in an alliance right now.
That you mean a story has continuity and like substance to it?
Like,
Holy
wrestling
shit, crazy.
canon is bigger than WWE now, which is kind of not like, it's almost like when you talk about like DC and Marvel, right? You're talking about this extended universe, and people are going to be over here and then they're going to be over there. And like, I think it's kind of cool that they're finally allowing a little bit of that to happen. And I think Triple H is smart enough to know, like, people aren't stupid. They know, like, we're not damaging our brand by mentioning that.
No, you're actually crediting your brand by saying, hey, these guys came from here and look where they are now. Like, they're in the big leagues. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, I think it's been good, and I think it's going to take some time to see. I don't think it's going to be this drastic overhaul, but even if just these small things get me to watch a little bit more, fine. Make me happy. Like, make me smile, Papa H. Make me smile.
And he's doing a pretty good job so far.
Yeah, I mean, no, he is.
They've done a really, I think it was like 2 weeks in a row where Raw and SmackDown both had some nice little cliffhangers. I kind of enjoyed that. I was like, it's been a while, and like a true one. Like, oh shit, all right, what's happening next week? Let's see what goes down.
Yeah, so, I'm very curious to see how it all works out. Like, I think it'll be great.
I think overall, it's gonna head in a better direction than it was before. There's gonna be duds, but I mean, we're about to talk about some duds.
Yeah,
we're about to cover some AEW, and I feel bad. This is like the opposite, right? It's like Bizarro World.
Weird, right? Like, take this episode a year ago, and it's totally
never would have
different.
thought we'd be doing this.
But this is what you want in wrestling. You want these cyclical things. Like, people are, it's absolutely, it's an ebb and flow. Great for business. Mm-hmm. So I found the poll, and this will go right into AEW. So
All right.
it says, on a weekly basis, which promotion do you think offers the best storylines? Huh. Wow. Great question.
I wonder when that poll was taken.
Yeah, it doesn't say, but I assume it was probably in June or something, maybe May, April,
Okay.
May, June-ish. I would
Mhm.
be willing to bet. The way that these publications have been coming out, I tend to like. I think the last episode was talking about like WrestleMania and everything.
Oh
So
yeah.
the last, I keep calling it episodes, but issue. So on a weekly basis, which storyline do you think offers the best? Which promotion do you think offers the best storyline? So the options were AEW, WWE, Impact, or others. Um, AEW comes in at a whopping 56%,
Mm-hmm.
WWE 20%,
Okay.
Impact 11%, and then others 13%. So, I mean, makes sense, to be completely honest with you. At the time, a few months ago, I
Well, if
would
it was
say,
taken in May, think about what was going on in
I
AEW.
know that what everything we're going to talk about and we
Mhm.
mentioned on the last episode, but like it makes sense. And I do think AEW had better storylines. Again, I think the bar is just so low
Yeah.
that it doesn't take much
No.
to get that answer. Unfortunately, due to like injuries and contractual issues, I think unfortunately AEW has regressed a lot, like we talked about on the last episode. Um, I don't know if there's too much going on there. Uh, there's too many people and not, I don't I it's tough. There's a couple factors that could
Mhm.
go into this. Again, I'm still high on AEW. There's all is not lost here. Like it is still
No.
good. Um, but I just think there's some tweaking that could be done. I like Tony Khan. I just wish they had a mix of Tony Khan and someone who was a wrestler in there. Oh,
Yeah.
like Cody Rhodes,
Um, who would have thought that we'd be singing Cody's praises now that he's gone from AEW and almost missing him in a way over there?
I mean, I don't know how much he did on the backstage. I really don't. But something's missing over there. I don't know what it is. I
It's
really
weird.
don't. It's just like it's their thing that made them great was their storylines were decent. They had good rivalries that they built up, but like you're missing that right now, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like this open door policy or the forbidden door policy where instead of focusing on some of the stuff that's going on, it's like short hits. It's like, okay, you have a feud with someone from Japan, then you're back to another storyline. Then there's a CM Punk who's the champion, but John Moxley's the interim champion because CM Punk is hurt, and Daniel Bryan, why am I
Brian
missing
Danielson.
Brian Danielson? Wow, I'm losing my. There's my one mix-up for the day.
There it is.
He's like on TV. He's not on TV. He comes back. He's not like.
He's concussed.
Where's Hangman Page? Like, where's Kenny Omega? Where's these guys? Where's the tag team division that how is FTR not like their biggest draw right now? I mean, they have 3 titles and they're not even the AEW champions. Like, it makes zero sense to me.
Part of me, I forgive that one because I think there's something that they're trying to work towards and they're just waiting. Maybe
Sure.
it's like waiting for them to eventually wait. I don't know if it's for All Out or one of their other big shows to eventually capture the AEW tag titles again, but I'm really not sure. I think so. I think you're absolutely right. There's multiple factors to this. One of them that I tend to see is the roster's way too fucking big.
Yeah,
It's
which we
huge.
warned.
We
We
knew
were
this was
like,
going to happen.
we did.
Because this is the. I can't believe I'm even going to mention his name, but this feels very Vince Russo to me, where it's like we're just going to sign. We're signing these guys for another shot in the arm. Like we want that adrenaline from the crowd when this dude's music hits. It's like, oh great, so and so is all elite. watch them on Dark. Like, come on, dude. Nobody, it's making it so that I don't care. I'm not saying people don't care, but I start just being like, okay, well, we'll see what happens with this guy.
So,
I mean,
Mikey, to that point, let's talk about that for a second.
okay, let's do it.
Let's talk about some of these guys that they signed, and like if you were excited when they signed them and where they are now.
All right, sure.
Malachi Black,
I was excited.
as was I. What has he done?
Nothing.
Has he even wrestled? Like, when's the last time he wrestled?
So apparently he had a back injury, and he didn't let anybody know until recently. It was some sort of Instagram post or something. But they're like, why not say why are we not getting those reports from Tony, right? Why are we not getting these kinds of things like, hey, so and so is injured, instead of him just being gone?
Right.
Like, at least if you have an explanation like that. I mean, think about it when you watch major sports. Well, where's this player? Well, they're injured right now, so they're not playing tonight. Okay, well, let's keep an eye on him because we'll have like an injury tracker. Like, what's going on with Malachi Black? He's just not there.
Yeah, but what the hell is the purpose of this House of Black thing? Here's the deal, okay?
Well, I have another point about this, but keep going.
Here's the deal. I'm all good with these vignettes and all these cool things, but they got to have some sort of freaking purpose, right? How many vignettes are we going to get of this guy that like have some sort of weird meaning, and then you don't understand it, and there's nothing ever comes of it? Like, what is going on with it? Like, this House of Black thing, it's what are they? Is the real question. Is like, what are they? You don't know, and that kind of is this guy's MO. Since he came up to the main card in general, even in WWE, when he was Aleister Black in NXT, he came up with that cool entrance. He was a mysterious guy. He didn't really do too many weird vignettes that like had
his
some
promos
sort of.
were good, and
they were good, but
there
they were
stories to what he was doing. Like, they were
right.
a bit more like subtle storytelling with him. He would use lighting. He would like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I just feel like even if he's trying that now, it feels like the message is lost.
Agreed.
That's how I'm seeing it, and maybe other people are seeing it differently. And
I don't think so.
Chime off on the socials for us, but
yeah,
I struggle to see it sometimes.
Yeah, and then Miro had a great run for a little bit, got hurt, then went and did his thing, came back, and where is he? What is he doing?
Absolutely,
why even
more
have
vignettes?
More
vignettes.
Yeah, why even have him on there? And then you look at like Swerve and Keith Lee, which
it's kind of like right now. So I'll give them that.
Yeah, but it just feels like it's almost like they got the titles because they were former WWE guys that should have had a title, never did, and like they should be excited because they got one here. But like, I don't know, I'm not in love with that tag team. Like, I think there's other people that are far more deserving of having those titles that are better wrestlers.
Are you saying it felt like it was just a tag team thrown together?
Yeah,
because that sounds like
because Keith Lee can't handle. Yeah, I know. But again, this is what it is. And then they hire the Brock Lesnar lookalike, who I don't know. I will see what happens there, but I don't have much.
I don't even think about that.
Pac, like, does Pac?
Where the
fuck I didn't even know he was on the roster till recently.
They created a whole nother fucking championship. Remember that?
I know.
And then I don't even remember the name of the fucking champ. Is it an Atlantic title or something? Like transnational? Like, what the fuck is it called? Like, it's just, he's gone. I don't know. Every once in a while, he'll show up as part of Death Triangle.
Yep.
But other than that, nothing. This is what I mean by the roster's too big, and it's starting to just like, nothing's starting to make sense. Things are just getting thrown together, and I see a lot of people on the Twitter machine especially really try to like defend the storytelling here, and I don't agree with it. It's not worth it to argue with these jamokes online, but I think a lot of them are just, maybe they're the honkies you're talking about, or they just don't like WWE, so they'd rather not admit that like AEW is kind of fucking up right now.
Yeah.
But you were talking about House of Black. And so this was a point I wanted to bring up. There's way too many factions, way too many fucking groups. Like every other week, there's a group. If everyone, and if I'm supposed to care about a group, and everyone's in a group, none of the groups matter.
Agreed.
None of it matters.
Agreed.
They barely have a women's division set up, and now they're introducing a trios title. So now we got another division, like a subset of the division. So
it's gonna come to a point, Mikey, where every match on
is
like
a title
Dynamite
match.
is a title
Every match is a title match. I think maybe I'm a little worn out with their shtick. Maybe that's what it is for me. Like the shtick is we want to like pop the fans all the time, but when you're
Yeah.
doing like you're creating an impossible standard.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, how many fucking like all right. Let me take it back for a second. I got too ahead of myself. I was like losing my words, so I apologize. But months ago, back when they were still in the Thunderdome, do you remember the whole Army of the Dead thing that they did? The promotion that WWE did where they had the zombies, and they got absolutely destroyed for that.
Yeah.
How many fucking shows has AEW put on that is absolutely tied to Shark Week or tied to some theme that TNT is doing? Or like, how many times does it happen? And nobody says anything about it.
So I agree with you. However, I need to interject on this one because I feel like AEW is at the mercy of the channel, because I feel like since they got bought out by Discovery or however that whole deal works, like there's been talks of like, is their contract going to be renewed? Like, is it worth them even having them? So they're probably just doing everything they can to make them happy.
No, I don't blame them for that. I'm just saying, you know, where we as people tend to have selective outrage on things. So I think this is one of those cases.
Oh, agreed. I 100% agree with you on that. But for me, it looked like with WWE, it just looked like they were just trying to take the cash, right? And for AEW, I feel like it's just them being like, it's okay, we're gonna promote your TV, so keep our time slot. Like that's how I look at it. But I agree with your point.
Hard to really care how many if every week is some sort of themed show, like it doesn't really matter. This is what I mean. It's too much.
Yeah. No, I agree.
There's nobody saying like take a step back for a second. Less can be more.
Right.
But like they are legitimately taking the approach of more is more, which is what we used to what we shit on WWE for. But like, guys, take a step back for a second. Yeah. They're falling into some of the same pitfalls that WWE has. And maybe that's just what happens with time.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years that they've been around now.
Well,
so the shine's kind of wearing off.
Yeah, and the other thing is like, how many times is John Moxley gonna bleed in a match?
Oh my god, every fucking time. It's just it's like falling on deaf ears for me. Like I can't react to it because it doesn't feel special when it happens every fucking match.
I agree with you.
That's why I mean less is more. Who's gonna fall through a table this week? Right? who's gonna almost kill Darby Allin this week? Like,
although I would rather
like Darby Allin, that coffin match was good, but
I would rather watch that. I'm not listen, if I had to pick my lesser of two evils, I would rather watch a little bit of blood than some of the god awful like backstage interviews that WWE is putting on Raw. Like,
dude, AEW has been no better. Don't kid yourself. They have been no better recently.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. I just think they've lost the biggest people, the biggest stars they had when they were doing well are not even on TV.
Nope.
Like Kenny Omega, who else? Who was another big one? I mean, Jericho when we first started was good. It was a perfect fit, right? Like he added credibility to the title. Didn't like his influencer gimmick. Thank God it's kind of sort of not
maybe.
as bad.
I mean, he's been in multiple segments every week.
I know. I like Eddie Kingston. I do. I think
that makes one of us.
Yeah.
This really fucking drives me insane sometimes.
He's your boy from Long Island.
I don't care. He'd speak of a whiny bitch. Sometimes he comes off like that.
He does.
Like, enough, dude. I get it. People wronged you 20 years ago. Let's fucking move forward.
I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I
don't know, man. The biggest glaring omission right now from their roster is MJF. And they really missed out on a really hot angle. This feels like what WCW did with Bret Hart. you have this huge angle, and it's rooted in reality, so people really care. And he gets squashed by Wardlow. Whatever the issues was, the issues were. But he gets squashed by Wardlow. He comes out the next night, pulls this crazy promo, and then fucking radio silence. And then right after that, Punk gets injured literally that night, by the way.
I know.
He gets injured literally that night. And Danielson gets injured maybe a week or two after that. So now you got your two bigger guys. Omega's out. And for some reason, like, Hangman's not in the picture again. Some of the other guys that they were trying to bring up suddenly are like back down on Dark, are just kind of middling around in whatever AEW's version of a mid card is right now. But they just, well, let's insert Jericho.
Yeah.
Everybody will forget about it. You can sing to his song. And it doesn't make any sense to me. And I guess maybe I reserved the right to change my opinion, so I'm changing my mind. I pay MJF at this point. You had so many injuries, you need to fucking follow up.
Yep.
You had this red hot angle, and quite frankly, I think it hurt Wardlow. I think they needed more than just that one match. I think in wrestling terms in general, you need a little bit of like a trilogy. So like now you have that big match, he blew him up, and then you can have like another match where maybe MJF wins, and then you maybe have like a cage match or something, whatever. But like you have like the blow off match, and it's like now Wardlow's officially done with MJF, and they'll kind of go on and do their own thing. Like Wardlow's kind of just without a real direction too.
Because you gotta have. So here's the deal.
There's nothing.
There was
like linear.
MJF. We talked about MJF last episode. I'm not going to harp on it, but MJF was by far the best heel in the business. Like it wasn't. There was MJF, and then everybody else. Like it. And when you have a good heel, they make you a good baby face. And Wardlow was reaping the benefits of that. And now you don't have that guy. And the greatest part about MJF is that he would come on, and even his segments where he wasn't wrestling, 90% of the time he wasn't even wrestling on Dynamite.
No.
But he gave such a great promo. Or he would come out when he came out on that procession where he was like on the king.
It was almost like Macho King.
Those things go such a long way that people don't even understand. And it's not everybody that can do that. If they could, everybody would be an MJF. You can't. You got to have a special person, and he was killing it. And unfortunately, I don't know who to put the blame on that one, but
I think it's probably on both of them to a degree. We'll never truly know what the details are of all of that. But
no.
All right. Well, because we've been shitting on Impact for a minute, so I want to talk at least briefly about what is working, because there are some bright spots. One of them, I believe, is Jade Cargill.
Yep,
she's killing it.
Yeah, she is.
They're building.
Doesn't wrestle enough.
Well, did you watch her match recently with Madison Rayne?
No.
So, a sidebar: Madison Rayne actually just came on to AEW and got signed as the head coach of the women's division.
Okay.
So, I think that's a really good sign. I like Madison Rayne. She does really good work in the ring, and her match with Jade was really great. It was a real good back and forth. Madison Rayne was very methodical in how she broke down Jade. It was one of the first times you kind of saw Jade struggle in a match, and I really enjoyed that. And it came off like a real challenge, and was a testament to the status that Madison Rayne carries in wrestling. So I'm excited to see where she goes from there. I think Jade will continue to get better. I know she's training with Brian, and now it seems like she's going to be training with Madison Rayne too. So I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, I have my issues with the AEW women's division. I don't need to get into that today. You guys already know about it. But that's my one bright spot right now. And maybe I don't know. How about you? What are you seeing that you feel like is kind of working in AEW?
I mean, look, all is not lost, right?
No.
Like we're nitpicking.
This is what we do.
Yeah, I think they'll figure it out. I just think the excitement from these unknown guys to build a name has worn off, because these WWE guys came in, and it's like, well, they're getting all the limelight. I'm working my ass off here. So that work ethic that you saw to make things great has faded, and then they need to get that back.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And I'm not saying it's all lost in any way, shape, or form, You start burying the homegrown guys that you have to these WWE guys, and that's what's going to happen. And you could sprinkle a couple in here and there, and it'd be fine. But it's just like it's not working. That dynamic isn't there. It's like when WCW got bought by WWF, and they brought these guys in from WCW, and it was like, okay, the locker room dynamic isn't there, just there, and that makes a big difference in this sport. Like it really does. Um, the one thing I'll say that does work from AEW's perspective is their announced teams. Like I know they're older guys like Tony Schiavone, JR. Excalibur's fantastic, dude. Like he might
I
be the
like him a
best.
lot.
He might be the best play-by-play guy out there, right? And even Taz, but you bring in these guys and that tells the story. And even you can have a garbage storyline and these guys can help make it even a little bit better. And JR is just the best, and he's past his prime by far, and probably shouldn't even be doing it anymore. But it's still great to listen to these guys call a match, and I think a lot of people can learn from them, and I think that's something they do well. The Mark Henry Big Show thing can go pound sand for all I
Right.
care. Like
I'm fine. I'm fine never hearing either one.
yeah,
Of them.
but let's switch gears. I know you wanted to talk about Impact
I
for a minute
do.
here.
I
And then
do.
we have mail time. We got some questions from the fans that we want to ask.
Let's
So,
do it. All right. So the Emergence pay-per-view from Impact was this past weekend, and I just felt like we don't give Impact enough love on here, or I feel
Yeah.
like in the wrestling world in general, they don't get enough credit for what they do. I have really come around on Impact. In the last year, I signed up for Impact Plus and I started watching some things, and they have a really good. Sometimes their interface is actually better than Peacock, where it's a little easier to navigate, and they have a lot of great collections of matches. And I was just kind of working through that, their knockout stuff, things from like the 2010s, their early Impact days, and this show recently I thought was really well done. They have like a smaller fan base, but it's a very devoted fan base, and they go along with the story, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
they're not going to try to shit on things. They're not trying to make things about themselves. We're here to watch the show, and we'll respond to the show. What are you giving us? And the poll you mentioned before kind of surprised me, because I do think Impact does a good job with their storytelling.
Yeah.
I think it's linear. Their backstage segments don't last too long. They don't overstay their welcome. There isn't a ton of in-ring promos. There's a lot of just in-ring work. They come in, they're telling the story in the ring, and the wrestling is really good. There's a lot of guys in there that I think can make a really, for lack of a better term, really big impact on the world of pro wrestling. One
Yeah.
of them is Speedball Mike Bailey. I thought he had a phenomenal match, and I think it was like the kickoff show for them.
Yeah.
And really like him. The crowd is really into him. He's got a cool style, and he feels like he's sort of organically getting over with the crowd. And I'll tout this till I'm dead, but Impact, it has the best women's division in wrestling,
Yeah.
bar
I,
none.
I believe that.
None.
They probably just are able to
is
give
right
them
up
more
there.
time.
They're right up there when they do it well, but Impact has consistently presented their women's division in a powerful light. It doesn't feel like we are trying to tout us as some sort of revolution or anything like that. They're just like, these are the women we have on the roster, and just watch them. Just watch them. And they have so much creative flexibility, it seems. And I think that's the best way to do it. You can tell that the backstage is sort of hands off with them. Like, you do what works. Go out there and test some things out. And that women's division kills it every time.
Yeah. No, so I haven't watched as much Impact as you have, but I did watch Ric Flair's last match. And so here's the thing about that. I know how much we talked about it. We're like, this is stupid, blah, 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 blah. I watched it because I was curious what the beginning matches were going to be like. And I got to be honest, they need to do that more often, because what they did is they took all these promotions and they had different matches from within these different promotions. And it was awesome. It was like WrestleMania with different promotions. They took some of their better people, put them on there, and they shine. Like it was.
It's kind of what a WrestleMania could be, right?
But they should do it more often.
All the different promotions. That's like a super show.
But here's the deal: they wouldn't have been seen if it wasn't Ric Flair's last match. So you can say all you want about Ric Flair and his last match and whether he should have had it, shouldn't have had it. However, it was garbage. It doesn't matter, but it brought eyeballs to these guys and women that maybe weren't seen before. And I really enjoyed watching them. There was a AAA
Mhm.
match that was just off the charts, man. And there was
Was
an
there an
impact.
Impact match?
There was an impact match between the Uso there. He's not a Uso. Fatu, Rikishi's son.
Yeah.
I forget his name. How he's not on WWE or AEW is beyond me.
Mhm.
They put on this great match, and I can't even think of the two people.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, I think it
But
was Joe Fatu.
oh, okay. Yeah.
And dude, he was unbelievable.
Mhm.
Like he was like a skinnier version of Umaga. Like that
Okay.
basically is the best way
We'll
to
take
put
it.
it. And he was facing a guy who was in WWE, and I can't think of his name at the time, but he wears like wrestling gear, and he's the champion. And they had a title match, which was really good.
Oh,
There was,
Josh Alexander.
yeah, and dude, it was a great match. And then DDP came in at the end, and dude, it was great. It was
Yeah.
really good. It
Yeah.
was well done.
No.
But they had every time they went to a different promotion, they had different announcers come on, and they had like the announcer from that promotion with
Yeah.
Tony Schiavone, and it was really cool dynamic to see.
Yeah, I could
And
imagine that.
I loved when the lucha wrestlers came on, because the guy comes on, he goes, I don't think you guys are ready for this.
That's cool.
Dude, it was awesome. And the thing I'll say about Ric Flair's last match, just to wrap it up, and then we'll get into these questions. We might go over time a little bit here,
That's
but
fine.
that's fine. His match in general, didn't think it should happen, but I will give Jeff Jarrett credit, because that man came out and somehow turned into like heel number one,
Mhm.
like just motherfucking the crowd. Like, dude, you would have thought
It was
that,
1999 again?
yeah, he killed it. I give him a ton of credit, because the match was centered around Andrade and who was the other one in the match?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
The Macho Man
Oh,
guy,
Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal, and they did a good job. And I mean, it ended fine, but overall, I was pleasantly
know, man.
surprised.
I don't know if I can bring myself to watch the match, just because
Fine, skip Ric Flair,
I
skip
might
Ric
skip Ric
Flair,
Flair.
but watch all the stuff before. There was a women's match. It was a triple threat match for the title. Was it Impact? Yeah, it was the Impact title. Who's the champion? It's a big strong girl.
Oh, Jordan Grace.
Yeah, and it was a triple threat match, and it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So it just shed some light. And actually, Karrion Kross was on there, and he faced,
Oh yeah, that was like right before he showed up on SmackDown
who
that
did
week.
he face? It was a pretty good match. Oh, it was someone's son.
Who isn't someone's kid in wrestling now?
Yeah, but oh man. Oh, British Bulldog.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
pretty, oh, that's pretty cool.
It was a good match.
That's
it was a
awesome.
good match. Yeah. So, anyways, let's move on here. But
Let's do it.
okay.
To our segment. It's gonna be a segment.
So,
Is that what we're...
so basically, we put out a feelers to see. Hey, ask us any question. We'll pick a couple out of the mailbag, and questions for me and Mikey. I took a couple that were for you, Mikey. You took a couple that were for me. Let's just do two each. Make it simple.
Yeah.
We're running short on time here. So pulling one out.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey Cash.
Yeah.
Marry, fuck, kill.
Oh.
European Championship, 24/7 title, or FTW belt.
I would kill the European Championship. I would fuck the 24/7, and I'd marry the FTW.
Okay, why? Why would you? So you actually?
I went beyond. I went way out there. I went way out there with it. I just went with my first instinct. My first instinct says we need to kill the European title.
What was wrong with the European title?
I just
You
feel
think that's better than the 24/7 belt?
I didn't say like I wouldn't kill the 24/7 afterwards. I just said 24/7 seems like a fun time, right? You know,
Fair.
I'm just going
Fair.
off. Listen, I don't really. I wish I had logic for why I felt the way I did, but I'm just giving you my impulse. My impulse
Okay.
is to kill the European title. I'm gonna bang the 24/7. We'll see where that goes. But I would totally marry the FTW championship.
Okay.
I think it needs tender love and care.
Fair enough. I want to thank Vince Knows Best 24 on the Twitter machine for posing that question. That was a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna give you this question from Shiki Babe. Is what one match stipulation would you like to see brought back in pro wrestling?
One. Ooh, that's a really good question. There's so many good ones out there. I was a big fan. This one probably wouldn't. I'm going to give you a two-part answer, of course, because that's what
I knew you were going to do this.
Because one is not politically correct, and the other one is probably more likely to come back. So I'm going to go with bra and panties matches.
I was going to be Carson for a minute and be like, what match was Vito going to bring?
That's like 13 to 16-year-old Vito, and that's what I would do.
Right.
But in reality, what I would like back, and Vince Russo would love this, but I love the like anything on a pole match for some reason. I just really love those.
Yeah.
But it was just overdone with him. It'd have like pink slip on a pole and like
they have that wasn't with Disco Inferno or something, and they had like somebody's mom on a pole match. It was like some weird shit.
Yeah. Those would probably be the stipulation. But that's a great question.
Oh, thanks. All right, what's yours?
All right. This one is from the Underwear Taker for Life, and his question was, or it could be hers actually. Would you rather wrestlers have fingers for toes or toes for fingers?
What the fuck?
Hey, I just read the questions.
I would say. All right, say the question again. Would I
rather?
Would you
rather wrestlers have? Yeah. Would you rather wrestlers have fingers for toes or toes for fingers?
I'm going fingers for toes. I feel like you get some really cool aerial moves from that.
So that's a fair point, and that's what I would have gone with too.
I'm just thinking of strategy.
Think about like the backflips you could do with that,
right? Because you're basically doing you land on the hands
and the balance. But I mean, also if you had toes for fingers, like slaps, oh man, that would be.
It's like getting hit with a club.
Yeah. Oh. Whew.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Damn. Good question by Underwear Taker. All right, so my question is coming to us from Jay Cabron, and he says, where does the Lesnar tractor incident rank in terms of ring destruction we've seen throughout the years?
I would put it up there in probably the top 3.
And he's been involved with like 2 or 3 of them himself.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say my number 1 is when he slammed the Big Show and the ring just collapsed. However, like if we're being realistic here, Yokozuna really has the most organic ring destructions because literally the ring broke because he was overweight. Like when he and it wasn't just once or twice. It was multiple times.
Multiple times.
So I would put it up there in the top 3, but probably put Yokozuna up there number 1 just because they're real life incidents.
Yeah. Do you remember when a Big Show chokeslammed Undertaker through the ring? That was one of the coolest.
I do.
He like took him from the top. That just stands out to me. Speaking of ring destruction.
Yeah, no, I do. Do you have? We went through these kind of quick. We could probably do the third question because we originally picked 3.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'll give you the third is from Brett's Fart 92782, and he said, or she, would you rather be hit with a kendo stick, steel chair, ring bell, or garbage can?
Steel chair, ring bell, garbage can,
kendo stick.
I'd probably go with the ring bell. I just want to hear the noise.
Oh, that's a good one. So you're about
I'm kind of about like the show of it,
Okay. So I see. For me personally, like if I'm picking it, I would
Mm.
probably go garbage can because that seems like it's going to do the least amount of damage.
Uh,
Kendo stick would definitely be the least.
oh, it
I've
seems to
heard,
be the most painful.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm all set with that.
But I like your point about the ring bell. It definitely has the best impact. Like,
Right?
yeah, that's a great
Dude,
point.
how many times you've watched somebody get hit with the ring bell and you'll hear a little like ding, like just.
I know.
It reminds me of No Mercy when you used to get hit in the nuts.
Right. Or like when you would use it like 2 or 3 times and it would disappear, then you have to press the top button to go back over the crowd and pick out something new. And sometimes you just get the same thing over and over again.
I used to love when they would make the hands like there was nothing there. They'd be like, I don't know. I'm screwed. I'm gonna lose. Oh my
Great
god.
point. Great point.
All right. This last question. Where is it coming from? Josh Auber, Jobber, kind of.
Oh, wow. Yeah, wow.
Pre-Attitude Era, what was your favorite wrestling storyline and why?
Pre-Attitude Era, what was my favorite?
They must know you and know that you would have immediately just gone to the Attitude Era and needed to specify.
That's going to ring my bell. It probably would be the $1 Million Man versus IRS. I just thought it was a great...
Really?
I mean, maybe the feud wasn't the best, but like the concept behind it was always really good,
How come I don't remember this at all?
Because it wasn't really popular.
It was sort of an underrated storyline for you. Like, how did it? Because they were tag team for a while, weren't they?
Yeah, but then they broke up.
Oh,
but didn't they break up?
I forgot about that.
Am I making this up? Maybe I'm making this up.
You might be making it up, but like you believe it's real, so I believe you.
I thought they broke up and they had a thing.
I think we need help. Jay Auber, if you can get on the Twitter machine and confirm this for us.
Okay, I can go with a different one, but what would yours be?
If it was pre-Attitude Era storyline, I would say the story leading up to WrestleMania 7 with Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man with the retirement match.
Well, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, man. And at the end
time
of that match, like Macho Man hit Ultimate Warrior with like 5 or 6 elbows, and then Ultimate Warrior just popped up, just no-sold, and he beat him. And it was like, it was
Didn't he no-sell everything?
Yeah, he no-sold everything.
But, okay.
So Ultimate Warrior wins that match, and now Macho Man has to retire. And during that whole year, him and Miss Elizabeth had broken up, and he was teamed up with Sherry, and they finally reunite at the end. Like she comes in and like everyone's crying. Like when I watch it again every once in a while, I'll tear up. It's just such a feel good moment to see them one last time just reunite. It's a beautiful moment in pro wrestling to me.
Okay, that's fair.
And it makes up for how shitty that main event was with Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter.
Whoa. Okay, shitty is a very harsh word for that.
I'll stand by it. I didn't like it.
That's fair. See, that's a really tough question for me because like pre-Attitude Era.
Yeah, we were kids.
Yeah. And I don't think I really started getting into wrestling until like slightly before the Attitude Era,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'd have to really think about that one, but yeah, no, yours is a good one.
Thanks, man.
So, hey, listen, we want to thank everyone for submitting these questions. And if you have questions that you'd like us to read on air, shoot us a message on the socials. Mikey read them at the beginning of the podcast. But make sure you send them in, and we'll when we get enough questions, we'll do this again. I thought that was great. But I'm glad to know. Wonderful. I'm glad to know that you would fuck the 24/7 title belt. That's great.
Yeah, talk about unexpected, right?
Yeah.
Never know where it's going to go. Well, all right. So we're just about out of time. Do you have any last thoughts, Vito?
I got nothing. I already talked about Ric Flair's last match. So make sure you check it out. If you want to skip past the last match, do it. But check out everything else.
Well, another great episode in the books for us. We'll be back soon with another great episode for you. So until then, keep on strutting.
We now return your perception of reality to you. Until next time.